James earns millions from internet marketing. Tim's got millions of questions. Welcome to Freedom Ocean. Now, jump on in.
James Schramko, welcome back to the ocean, and ain't it sweet?
It's a lovely ocean.
It's a lovely ocean.
It's good to be back live too.
Yeah, face to face. Last show was via Skype. And
technical challenges abound.
There'll just be a little bit more warmth here, James, as if we're sitting on each other's lap.
But we're not.
Hey, no, exactly. Absolutely. No. There's metres separating us. Hey, welcome back, listeners, to Freedom Ocean. It's a podcast about internet marketing where I've got 1 million questions and James has got $1 million thanks to immersing himself in the world of internet marketing over many years. James, I just thought it'd be worth reminding our listeners, if they are new, and we've got a lot of new listeners. The reason I know that is because we get lots of downloads of the show at an increasing rate, lots of people signing up at freedomocean.com, and we constantly are rating high on iTunes. So welcome to all the new listeners. And this show is what we would call an evergreen show, isn't it? Evergreen,
as in it will be around for a while.
Well, it'll be around for a while, and also the content that we have previously covered will continue to be relevant for weeks, months, years ahead. And if you are a new time listener, let's just look back at some of the things we've covered. Last show we went deep on membership sites. The one before that, we had a really good look at what a starter's pack of search engine optimization tactics would include. We went behind the scenes of Freedom Ocean on another show and talked about how we brought this baby to life, how we got it off the runway. Or what do you do when you launch a ship?
Berth it. I don't know.
That's when you park it.
Is it?
Yeah. No, clearly we don't know. We're not sailors. We're just people who like freedom.
I prefer to use other people's ships.
Correct. We've covered other product creation, episode 5, one of my favourites. Did love. It was interesting when we did product creation because when I used to think about internet marketing, I just thought it was about product creation. I'll go and build websites and create compelling, engaging information and via various product means, and away we go.
Seems to come in waves depending where people jump in onto the internet marketing bandwagon, if you like. Sometimes the craze is information products.
Yep.
And then it's search engine optimization.
Or affiliates or...
Affiliate marketing. Local business marketing was huge. So there's all these trends that get pushed to the top.
Yep.
And like sheep, everyone else jumps on it. And that's when a lot of people are introduced into that whole concept.
True.
And I think the overwhelming carrot for people is that they're looking for a less hard work outlet for their activities that gives them a high profit.
Yeah,
and that surrounds. There's a bit of a myth around that with internet marketing, the whole lifestyle thing. I'm sure it'll come up time and time again.
Time and time again.
Yep.
So, well, that's what brings us all together. Is that wish for a business and a lifestyle that is, less demanding on maybe what the traditional types of businesses require. It seems to be the common link.
Well, and the funny thing is, it's in every other business and every other part of our life, but some people can't draw a comparison. An example is the amount of weight loss tablets out in the marketplace. You would think with the amount of weight loss tablets and ab crunches and all the rest of it that 99% of the world's population would be thin and toned, but sadly they're not. Probably I think half of the adult population is overweight.
Yeah.
So we know what the attractive outcome is and we still consume it, but not everybody's living their reality in any part of life.
So we got talking, interesting, this show, in our pre-production of this show, we were going to head down...
That sounds very professional.
It does. Well, we could have called it, a bit of planning over coffee, which is really what it was, but we were going to talk about copy, C-O-P-Y, not coffee. And we probably will, and I think there's definitely, we get a lot of feedback via Facebook and the show notes about people wanting us to talk about copy. But you sort of suggested we maybe pull back on that and talk about sales because and I wish I'd written down what you'd said, but it was basically, you know, if you're no good at selling, and some people, this is going to hurt, you know, some people don't want to hear this, and we have touched on it before, but do you want to finish that quote? If you're no good at selling...
Well, if you can't sell, then you're not going to make a lot of profit with your online business or your offline business. You're probably going to struggle in relationships, and especially in a job, hard to get promotions. Really, I think the money out there in business and in life, the rewards are going to the better salespeople. Almost all of the top marketers that I can think of right now are excellent at selling. That's how they became top marketers. That is the fundamental skill. And when you were talking about copy before, I even jokingly asked you, do you mean agency copy or you know, like direct response copy? Because copy means different things to different people.
Yeah, it does.
I think in the old ad land, copy is someone who writes the words on the brochures and the pages. And then there's that whole copywriting from a sales perspective that came from the direct response world, where you're selling with words. It's just selling. It's salesmanship in print. Somebody mentioned, I can't remember the name of the person, but it relates to getting your message out there and having people take the action that is going to be best for you and for them.
There's a great quote from a very long decades ago. An ad man, I think it might have been what's his name, someone Burnback from the big advertising agency BBDO. Or it might even have been the guy from, goodness me, David Ogilvy. I'm sure he would have been referring to print advertising or print copy, but he said advertising is what you do when you can't go see someone. And if I was to drill that down, it's probably like writing great copy is what you do when you can't go see someone. Because in an ideal world, you'd pick up your bags and you'd go and visit every prospect face to face and sell to them, and in a much more engaging human way. And whereas great copy sort of replaces that, because obviously we can't go and visit everyone.
Yeah, well, and beyond copies, now we have a lot of these other mediums that aren't just text. So, for example, videos. We're using a lot more video or even audio to sell. So I think it's a bigger topic than just copy. Really, what this episode might focus on is how do you actually get a message from one to many, because that's really the whole point of it. You know, face-to-face sales is number one in terms of conversion ratio. If you were to sell one-to-one, which is what I used to do when I sold vehicles, you'll get high conversions. When you sell through a one-to-many medium, it might drop off the conversions, but you're speaking to that many people, it doesn't matter. I've spoken at live events where there's 600 people in the audience, and I've had 100 of them buy something. So that's considered fairly leveraged. When you can say the same message to 600 people at the same time and 100 of them will buy, that's pretty good. But what if you have a website where you can have 50,000 people view it and 2,000 of them buy, which is what happened to me in the last few months? That is even better leverage. And the best thing is you don't even have to be there. So I guess we could probably talk about some of the processes or thoughts I have around how you go about making that happen.
I think that's important, because it is, and you know, particularly in the online world, it's about holding people. You know, if you have got Google Analytics attached to your website and you can see what the bounce rate is, I mean, great copy, or great video, great copy, great audio, whatever it is, you know, it's about getting that bounce rate down so that you're holding people's attention and people being able to read. You know, if it is sales copy, then short paragraph leading into another short paragraph leading into another. Each time, almost, I think it was Gary Halbert in one of his newsletters taught me that, which was just, you know, to be the ability to, we're getting into tactics here, but he talked about a particular little copywriting tactic, which was about holding people at the end of a paragraph so that they almost had to read the next paragraph.
Well, I think that's Joe Sugarman's method.
Is it?
The headline sells the sub-headline, which sells the first paragraph, and so on. I'm pretty sure it was him. And, you know, I've read most of the books from all the people. I'm not one of those copywriting nuts who can quote you every copywriter and every... You know, there's a lot of artists and writers who get off on all that stuff.
Yep.
I don't care about all that stuff. I just consume information. I get the idea behind it. Like that Claude Hopkins thing, the scientific advertising where you know, if you can't